If you only count the finished projects, then this year looks a little bit unimpressive. But this isn't a look how productive I was recap, and more of a look at 2025 and which crochet projects I could fit around my life. It also had a bit of an unexpected theme, so let me know if you pick up on that in the comments below. Hey, I'm Emma, your crochet bestie, and welcome to my channel. At the start of 2025, I was super ambitious. I was doing a stash busting and no buy year at the same time. We only have a few days left of 2025, but I have definitely reached my goal of not buying any new yarn and just working from my stash. One of my big stash busting projects was to make granny squares to send to a charity so that they can sew them all up and make them into blankets. This is pretty much what all the squares look like, just your basic granny square pattern, but I made this one for my kid's doll. In total, I made about 20 charity squares and I have sent them all off to be sewn up. I'm not sure if I should count the squares as part of my overall total, so I'm not going to for this video, but it definitely helped me reduce my stash and I was quite happy making them. They're so easy to whip up, and with this one, for example, the yarn changed its own color and I was using a 5mm hook, so the projects went really quickly. The first big project I completed was this mushroom guy. He's very cute and he went to the Sydney Royal Easter Show this year. I started this project because Reddit had absolutely fallen in love with this little guy and I wanted my own version. After that, he's kind of just been like a little fixture in my house. My child carries him around sometimes and tucks him into bed with little blankets. It's really cute. I also made a full video about him, so if you want to know more, I'll link it up here. And let me tell you, there was a little bit of drama around this guy on the internet this year. But look how cute he is. I absolutely love his mushroom cap and his little face is adorable. And he's held up surprisingly well considering my kid is not gentle with him. Next up, I made a vintage baby jumper. It looks like this. I also made this for the Easter show and I have to say it looks a little bit misshapen after being in my drawer for so long, and I'm pretty proud of how it worked out. It was also the first time that I had tried to block acrylic. Trying to block the acrylic worked out really well. It did open up the lace work, which I really like the result of, but it hasn't exactly stayed in the shape that I wanted it to, so I might have to go back through later and give it another block. I also haven't found a baby to give this to, so I think it's going to end up in my kid's doll collection, but that's okay. I'd rather things that I make get used than sort of sit in the cupboard forever. Another fun fact about this project was that I made my mum drive me to Spotlight to get the buttons for this project, and we were trying really hard to match the color of the yarn to the buttons. It was almost impossible and I had almost given up because I thought that these like blue buttons were too light, but honestly, I think they suit the project really well. Next up, we have this cute collar that I made. Again, I made it with some scrap yarn, so I was feeling pretty accomplished that I was making it through my stash. It does need to be blocked though, I will say that. It kind of is a bit ruffly on the sides here. I think that the border I chose kind of lifted / ruffled the edges a little bit too much, but you know what? You win some, you lose some projects. I really enjoyed the process of making this though. And if you wanted to make your own, it's super simple and you can make it to measure. So basically I made 6 pentagons. I sewed them together using a mattress stitch. Then all I did after that was add this shell border to the edge, and then I crocheted along the top edge and made some ties. Super simple project, anyone can do it. Next up we have this halibut that I made. It's from the National Park Service in America. They have crochet patterns. This thing is kind of kooky and weird, I'm not gonna lie. And when I was making it, the pattern was also slightly wrong, which was kind of funny to me as well, but it's fine. The patterns are written by the actual rangers at the parks who crochet, so I don't expect them to have it completely perfect. They have a day job. I don't think I used the right yarn for this project, but again, it doesn't really matter. I was just trying to get through some of my yarn stash. This was a Karen Pantone yarn that I used in this Great Dane color, and I thought that it definitely fitted this fish project really well. It's a bit worse for wear, but my child does sleep with it as a pillow sometimes, so I can't be too upset about that. I'm happy that this thing is well loved. It's also kind of like a weird project too, but I loved it. I also made a video about it. You know what? I'll throw all of these projects into a playlist so you can find them easily. Now, this project had haunted me for years. It's my hexagon cardigan, and at the time I didn't know how to finish it off because when I had the 2 panels together, it did not close or fit at all. So I added in these extra granny square panels, which was perfect. And it does fit me somewhat perfectly, but not exactly anymore. So I'm thinking about perhaps taking out these panels at the back and readjusting a little bit to fit my body as it currently is. And I also have a little bit of spare yarn, so I think I can do that without having to worry about if I mess up any of the colors. But I do absolutely love it, and I was wearing it during the spring-winter transition, and it turned out it's actually quite a warm cardigan. This project really helped me perfect my mattress stitch because I think that this seam turned out beautifully. Next up, I have two amigurumi that I made from the Creepy Creatures and Cryptids book that I did a review on. Again, they both get played with, so they might be a little bit dusty or a little bit dirty, but it's fine by me. This Mothman project was so fun. I used up some black cotton yarn that I had left over, and I painted its eyeballs. And I painted my own custom eyes with nail polish and set them. It was so fun. And when I realized I could just paint the eyes myself, I just thought, why have I wasted all these years buying different colored eyes? It doesn't make any sense. I could have just been painting them myself. This project was pretty fun though, I have to say. And who doesn't love a little Mothman? And this pattern was called The Grey, and it's in the same book. I cut out felt for the eyes, and I feel like it really lifted the entire look of the amigurumi. I actually used a spoon to trace this sort of oval circle onto the felt before I cut it out, and I think it turned out really good. They're kind of addicting too. I've made a few of these, and they seem to be quite a favorite among my friends. And the last project that I made for 2025 was this Balrog. It's from a Lord of the Rings crochet kit. So I got him because the Wibbles are now available in Australia this year at Zing, and I really wanted to give it a thorough review and go over to see, you know, are these things actually worth 60 bucks? If you're new to crochet, I'm gonna say they definitely are. They also gave me all the shiny metallic yarn that I wouldn't have bought myself, like at all, because it's scratchy. That's not my normal thing. It was fun, it was easy, I needed a bit of a mental break, and honestly, he's so cute. So confession time, I have a few projects that I started that I did not finish this year at all. So I'm gonna do a quick run through of what those are so we can remember that they are there for next year. First up, I have this single crochet ribbed beanie that I swear I have been working on for like 4 years. I've been making this for someone very special, and it has honestly taken me too long. I still have half of a ball left to go. I don't know, single crochet is just a bit of a slog for me, which is why this thing has not progressed very far. But I will finish this for 2026's winter here in Australia. Another project that I started and sort of ghosted, my goal was to get it done by October 3rd, but it didn't happen, was my Taylor Swift Midnights top. It's really cute. I picked some yarn that I already had. I was super stoked about getting it done, but the time got away on me. So next year's pile it goes. So bear with me, but this is gonna be a vest. I know, it doesn't look like much, but it's gonna be a vest. Will it be a vest this year? No. It's gonna be a vest next year. The pattern for this is the Thea vest, and I did do one modification. So for the motif, I've opened it up, so instead of it looking like a leaf, it's gonna be more like an open flower or a bigger leaf, which suits my vibe a little bit more. But as you can see, it has a bit of a ways to go before it's an actual vest or a wearable item. Looking at all my projects together, I think the real theme of 2025 for me personally was amigurumis. And also I would say quickish to quicker projects. I completed 10 projects and I feel pretty accomplished. You know, even with the 3 projects that are haunting my whip pile. So tell me in the comments below, how many projects did you finish this year? Are any still haunting your whip pile? And as always, thanks for watching, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!